Okay, I want to use today's highlight video just to talk about a couple of trade ideas from today and how they developed, because it's always interesting when you look back and see where did this trade come from, how did we even find it, and that sort of thing. And it's pretty interesting. So GLD, gold and silver, were popping here. This was about 11:40 this morning. All right, I wasn't watching them. I don't keep gold and silver on charts, but one of our members in chat typed in the chat room, hey, gold and silver spiking. Okay, so then I bring up GLD real quick, and this is just how some trades manifest themselves when trading in a group. It's just kind of a good testament to the teamwork. Okay, so I looked at GLD, certainly had nice volume and a pretty nice push here. I didn't want to chase it, so I thought, you know what, as a lot of people probably do, I'm going to look at a miner. Okay, I'm going to look at one of the gold miners. This is GG, and this is the one I kind of defaulted to. And at this is the exact same time gold spiked. It makes sense, right? GG spiked. And I loved it here because had a real nice move. It bounced off the 200 on 5s here, okay? So the 200 on 5s is acting as resistance. Some stocks don't even blink. Other stocks tend to react to these areas pretty well. I can't really tell you why because I don't know, but when I see a stock that reacts to these areas, I become more interested in these areas because look, again, on the gold spike, GG, right into that 5-200 again, 200 moving average, 5-minute candles. All right, turn on the projector for all to see. Now, this is how I walked through the trade. I said, okay, I like this because sellers come in here. Sellers are coming in. If these sellers fail, this is a good long or could be a good long. Okay, so in other words, if it gets over this candle. Now, when I hover over this candle, it says the high was 37.529. I don't know how that happens, but it shows it down here whenever I hover over a candle. So I just rounded that up to 37.53. Went ahead and said 37.55 would be a clean break of this. In other words, these sellers will be wrong. Plus, it'll be a breakout above this 5-200, okay, 200 moving average. So my idea was 37.55, clean break of this red candle. Worst case stop is going to go below this red candle, 37. I think I just went ahead and made it a dime, 37.45. Okay, there's the trigger, 37.55. Stop goes right here below. That's a great risk reward. You've got gold on your side. Okay, so right here's the entry, and right here below this red candle is the stop. That's a great risk reward. A lot of things working for you. The 200 moving average, the little break of that. Plus, why else did I like this? You still had a potential of GG getting through the high of the day, which could give it some more momentum as people see GG, one of the gold miners, lighting up the new highs ticker and hopefully pile in. And that was 37.76. So I said the 55 could get you to 76, which could trigger more buying. And then that's exactly what happened. And look at that. All the way to 38 something. What did it go to? 38.44. So that's almost a 90-cent move in our favor. Stop was 11 cents below. Anyway, I would not have found GG probably in time to project it onto everyone's screen and give the idea had it not been for one of our members that posted gold and silver spiking. So that's kind of how trades manifest themselves, and that's a great example here. SLW, okay, silver miner, and this is another one. Then I'll show you how that manifests. Well, if you look at SLV, silver was just cranking too, okay? So I just looked at SLW, and it had this kind of little base here with highs of 26.15. So I'm sorry, 26.13. So I typed in the chat room SLW 26.14 trigger idea. Stop right at 26. Well, look what happens. It doesn't trigger. It goes down instead. And as the same with GG, you had the high of day still to the left. 26.17, potential catalyst to move this higher. Okay, but instead it comes down to one of my favorite buy areas, the 20 moving average on 5s, okay? So when it looked like this, I turned on the projector and said this could give a nice 5s turn. I like the pullback better than having it come back up here and triggering at 26.14. So the pullback is a better opportunity to give you a better risk reward, okay? So that's the first break of a previous 5-minute candles high now that it's come down to the 20 here. 26.03, worst case stop, it's going to be 26.96. 7 cents risk, there's the trigger. Now look what happens. Works its way back up to that 26.14 area that I talked about, and then busts right through it and through the high of the day and makes a nice move to 26.44. Now, that's not a huge move. It's a 41-cent move, but on 7 cents risk. Okay, so there's an example of how trade ideas manifest in our chat room. And here's a kind of an interesting one too. Now, this one wasn't an official call, but it shows how you can make money just by being in the right place at the right time. This is URI, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, it gets this volume spike. Everyone in our chat room, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. A lot of people in the chat room are watching for volume spikes, including myself. So this was during the lunchtime slowdown, so I just typed in the main chat room, didn't even make it an announcement, that URI/VOL. In other words, URI is getting volume. One candle later, somewhere while this candle was forming, I typed in URI. Could be a good Tokyo play here, which is one of our strange names for an entry in our chat room, which just means you see the volume spike, you get a little price movement with it, you just blindly take it, okay, and assume this volume means something. Now, if I get a volume spike and no price movement, it means nothing to me. It could have been a block trade, errant tick, whatever reason, but when you get price movement, and you were getting that in URI, it could be what we call a Tokyo entry, which would just be a grab, and at the time it was like 31.05. Even if someone took it at 31.10 when I mentioned it, where does the stop go on a Tokyo? It's always going to go below the volume candle. So this volume spike started at the bottom of this candle, would have been 30.82. So you just blindly take it. That's what a Tokyo is. Now, you don't want to bet the farm when you're just taking something hoping a volume spike means something, okay? But you could have nibbled on a few right here, knowing that your stop is below this candle at 30.82. Okay, so in other words, it's going to have to do this big volume spike and then roll back over and take out the lows of this candle for you to be wrong. You can adjust your risk, as always, with position size, right? Take it smaller, and you should on something like this. But look at this. Ends up going all the way and closing pretty strong. Going all the way to 31.82. This was not an official call, but I did have members that, if, for lack of a better term, Tokyo'd this one somewhere in the low 31s, 31.05, 31.10. I had a guy take it at 31.12, and they all had a stop in mind, and it just kept grinding higher for the rest of the day. So kind of interesting there, and another example how a strange trade idea can manifest in the chat room. But I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.